Sunday Showcase features the Beasts of the East from the Southeast. Miami hosting Boston later, but first, Orlando entertains the Bulls. Final Sunday of the regular season, which means it's time once again for the Hubies. Will the MVP award go to Derrick Rose? He's in the top 10 in the NBA in scoring and assists. With Hubie Brown, I'm Dave Pasch.
I do.
Lisa Salters here as well. Well, Hubie, you look at Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. Best record in the East, still a chance at the best record in the NBA. And Rose, the biggest reason why.
Well, when you talk about points, right around 25 a game, 8 assists, and the shooting is consistent. 44 from the field, 86 from the foul line, and he chips in with 4 rebounds as a point guard. Now, when you break down, only 2 or 3 guys are in his category with the shot clock of 5 or 6 seconds. He's going to make something happen.
Had a great year, Hubie, as has Dwight Howard, the leading candidate for Orlando for MVP, but he's not here, suspended for this game. What can the Magic get out of this game without him?
Well, this is about schemes. This is about the group that will play anytime that Dwight Howard is in foul trouble or that he gets injured. Now, what do you have to do? Defensive schemes, and then offense. How are you going to score in the paint?
Ryan Anderson starting for him as we look at our Taco Bell starting lineups for the Bulls, going for win number 60 today. It's rare that Boozer and Noah have been in the lineup together, but they are now. They're both healthy. Rose, Dang, and Bogans, who's been a solid role player. So Anderson in the middle is 14 start. Bass, Jameer Nelson, Jason Richardson, and Turkoglu back in a Magic uniform after the trade with Phoenix. Now here's the third member of our crew, Lisa Salters.
Hey, Dave. Well, it seems to be all over but the shouting as far as Derrick Rose is the league MVP. So I asked Rose and his teammates what's different about him this season. Luol Deng told me he's grown so much. He says especially as far as reading defenses. Deng said he's still playing with God-given talent, but now he's reading the floor so much better and not just relying on his talent. Rose says what's different is my confidence level. He says it's very high. He said, when it's like this, it's pretty hard to stop me. Rose told me, I think that I can do anything out there on the floor. Dave?
A lot of people agree. He has had a spectacular year, and if he wins the MVP award, he would be the youngest in NBA history at age 22. 6 days until the playoffs begin on ESPN and ABC. A potential second-round matchup in the East between Orlando and Chicago. Both teams know who they'll play in the first round. The Bulls will meet the Pacers. Orlando will play Atlanta.
When watching the Bulls, there's a lot of baseline movement, down screens, curl screens, guys cutting to the rim. That's the typical play of the Chicago Bulls. They can post up with Boozer, but basically everything is movement, and they are forcing you to play them on both sides of the lane. Now watch the pitch and cut. All right, that's perfect. Now, if you trail, all right, they got it back. Now, if you notice, there were no defenders below the foul line area. It's beautiful to watch. Now, they are not a big three-point shooting team, but they get into the paint.
Carlos Boozer, brought over in the offseason by Tom Thibodeau and company. Thibodeau in his first year with Chicago. And Boozer, what an addition he's been when healthy. And he's probably got the most playoff experience of the guys that actually play a lot of minutes on the Chicago team.
Well, the way to look at it is only 4 guys remain from last year who really played any minutes. The management did an excellent job in bringing 6 other guys here as free agents who play. Then the coaching staff has done an outstanding job making the chemistry.
There's a roster change for Orlando. Jason Richardson was brought over with Turkoglu in that deal with Phoenix in December. Richardson playing his 53rd game for the Magic as Boozer is called for traveling. We talked about the new additions for Chicago. Keith Bogans has started every game for them. Korver has been terrific off the bench as well.
Yeah, and you talk about Boozer, but Asik has been outstanding at the center position in a backup role. Kurt Thomas has stepped into the starting lineup when Noah has missed, over 34 games. So you got to understand, this team has great depth.
And a guy that's never been a head coach prior to this year, Tom Thibodeau, spent over 2 decades as an assistant and could be the coach of the year in the NBA. The job he's done Chicago won 41 games each of the last 2 years as Derrick Rose gets his first basket of the game.
Now, early in his career, that would be a difficult move. You can see he has definitely worked on his shooting game over the summer. He has the three-point game and then the mid-range 18 to 20-foot jump shot.
Here's Brandon Bass. Bass over Boozer. And Deng, who's had a really good year on both ends of the floor, gets to the loose ball.
Now, Chicago Bulls, the #1 half-court defensive team in the league. They're #1 in differential. They're #1 in field goal shooting percentage against, and #1 in three-point shooting against. Now, that guy, you've got to guard him. You cannot give him that wide-open shot, Dave.
124 threes now in the year. He had 32 in his first 2 years combined. A steal. Here's Rose in the open floor. What a move by Derrick Rose. He scored the last 7 for Chicago.
This is where they are a monster. They get that missed shot. They get a block shot. They pick off the steal in the open floor. They are dynamite because they have guys athletic who can finish.
Anderson steps out, knocks down a 3, shooting 38% from out there.
In the matchup today, Anderson and Noah will be matched up. Noah's got to pay attention, Anderson. Anderson is basically not a post-up guy, even though he can. He's a terrific three-point shooter.
Bogans can't complete the pass to Boozer. Chicago turnover.
In the early going, if you've been really keying in on Chicago, you see that from the foul line down, they have nobody posted up as of yet. They're doing nothing but passing and cutting and screening.
When you think about what they're missing without Dwight Howard, 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 blocks as Turkoglu is fouled.
Now this is off a transition. See, he came off a screen. You switch. Now once you switch out and you have a big guy on him, hey, it's going to be all over because he'll give you a hesitation. You lay off, he'll shoot, and then in the open floor, there's no one better. This guy plays the backboard. He has such a soft release, no matter where he is, the angle and the release as it catches the glass.
You know, talking with Tom Thibodeau yesterday, he talked about Rose's work ethic and his improvement. You see it in his three-point shooting, in his game management skills. The guy gets it.
Well, you always like your best player to be accountable, and this guy's accountable. He wants the discipline. He wants the organization. He constantly credits this coaching staff with their game plans. And you like what he said. Every night we feel we can come out and win any game in any building because of our coaching staff and the preparation. That's high praise.
Boozer hits it. Well, Chicago has won 18 of its last 20. One of those losses was in overtime at Indiana. They've won 25 of their last 29 as Richardson knocks down the 3 to get the Magic within a point.
Now we know that the Magic #1 in three-point makes. They average over 9 a game, and they're #1 in shot attempts behind the three-point line, right at 26. There it is, that back cut.
Bogans had trouble with the pass. Shot clock at 5. Bulls have not missed a shot from the field as of yet. Timer at 1, and Turkoglu commits a foul. Second foul on Orlando.
Chicago, very quick in their cutting, very strong in their screens. They have some very tough frontline people. With the shot clock down, not only do you have to campaign about Rose, but you must also play Deng. Deng at that small forward position creates a ton of stuff off the dribble.
Some great action coming up tonight on NBA TV. Big one between Oklahoma City and the Lakers. Oklahoma City could still get that 2 seed. New York, Indiana's the first game there. On TNT Tuesday, Bulls, Knicks, Lakers, San Antonio. And then Wednesday, New Orleans at Dallas, followed by Memphis and the Clippers. Playoffs start on ABC and ESPN next Saturday. Lakers are struggling, losing 4 in a row. And you look at 2 through 8 in the West. It's still up for grabs. San Antonio will be the 1 seed as Nelson misfires. Turkoglu with a steal.
Oh, get up. You can't flop there.
Anderson with the offensive rebound and put back.
Orlando, very good offensive rebounding. 2 guys, Anderson as well as Bass. You must pay attention. When a shot goes up, you got to put a body on both people.
That's 5 points now for Anderson. He averages 10 points per game off the bench starting today with Howard suspended as Noah gets the basket.
Now that was beautiful. As soon as they saw the double team, Noah cut right from the top of the circle to the front of the rim, and the pass was there.
Anderson again. This time it's Richardson with the dish.
Well, in the early going, you can see that Anderson is going to give a problem for Noah, because Noah is the anchor at the center position with the shot blocking and rebounding for Chicago. And when he goes to help, Anderson is very dangerous. Keep an eye on it right here. Anderson up over the top of Noah. Now that's hard to do because Noah is one of the best rebounders in the league. You help, I'm going to the rim.
Time for the 2011 Hubie Awards. The highlight, certainly, of our telecast today. And here's the first one, close to your heart. The Coach of the Year Award in 2011. The nominees are Tom Thibodeau, George Karl, and Monty Williams. And the winner is Tom Thibodeau. We spoke with him yesterday and handed him his Hubie.
You know, flattered and honored, humbled. And of course, coming from Hubie, it means a lot. He's been one of the all-time great coaches in the history of the game. But I think this is also more a reflection of our entire coaching staff and the team. We got a great team. So, and our organization is a terrific organization. So it's special to be recognized by Hubie, of course.
Well, I like what he's all about, because they have the #1 differential in the league. That's the difference between what you score and what you give up. They're the #1 half-court defensive team. And then also, they only have 4 players left from last year, and they have a plus 18 from 41 wins to 59, and the season isn't over yet. So this is a great tribute to, you know, not only management, but also to their coaching staff, as well as the players and the new players. The chemistry, terrific.
A chance to tie Paul Westphal for the most wins by an NBA first-year head coach. Hubie, you won that award twice. To win the award, what does it mean?
Well, first of all, it's a great tribute, which exactly what Tom said, and that is to your coaching staff, and then for the team, because you can't get any of this without your team buying into everything that's going on. It's good for you, it's good for the team, it's good for the organization, and then it means that the younger guys, that you have a team that's going to be, you know, very hard to knock out at any time in the playoffs, whether first round, second, or third round.
Here's Dang for 3. First miss of the game for the Bulls from the field. Yet just a 2-point lead. Orlando hot as well, shooting 60%. Ryan Anderson with 7, Jason Richardson with 7 as well. And Boozer with the steal. Nelson gave it away. And now here's Rose in transition. The bullseye! And the finish with the left. Wow.
Now, look, there's only one other guy in this league, in my opinion, that gets there from circle to circle as quick as him, and that's LeBron James. All right, because they do not slow down. They are flying, and most of all, when they complete it, they make it look easy.
How about Ryan Anderson? Now 10 points. He's 4-4 from the field.
Remember what we told you now. He's going to give a lot of trouble to Noah because that's his second 3 now. He's 2 for 2 in threes.
Bogan's foul, 13th foul on Orlando.
Hey, this is all about speed. Just watch how he blows by people. He handles so well. He finishes either with his right or his left. Watch the forearm go out. Now, also the cradle in case he was hit, and that he would still be able to finish and get his priority type of a shot.
Scored or assisted on almost 43% of his team's points. That's the highest in the league. 25 points per game, 8 assists per game, as Turkoglu has to sit down with 2 fouls, and Gilbert Arenas comes in to replace him.
Dave, when you talk about Derrick Rose from 6 minutes down at the end of the game, he's so dangerous. Why? You can't foul him. 86% foul shooter. He can make the 3 if the defense goes under the screens. And once he goes by your point guard, you have to double team him, and that's when he makes his passes.
There's Dang in the lane. And the Bulls are certainly back because of Rose. Their best season since '98, which was the last championship for Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson and company, as Nelson takes it in and scores.
Now in the early going, Tom Thibodeau and his staff are not happy because Orlando is carving them up. They're getting their perimeter three-point shooting and they're making them. But they're carving them up, going to the basket and making things happen off the dribble.
Another 50-win season for Orlando, 4 straight. That is a franchise record as Rose again gets to the bucket and banks it in, and he's got 11 points, 5 of 5 shooting.
Yeah, I like what you said. He banked that in. Now he banked that in traffic. Notice the elevation. His elevation is so incredible, and then the fact that he can play the backboard with such a soft backspin.
ESPN's NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC, brought to you by Toyota.
Eight o'clock, it's ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. As the Yankees take on the Red Sox, Game 3 of that series. Boston won on Friday, its first win of the year. The Yankees bounced back with a victory yesterday. Here in Orlando, the Magic trail the Bulls by 3. Dwight Howard on Wednesday received his 18th technical foul after he was called for the 3rd time this year a 10-second free throw violation. He rolled the ball away from the official into the crowd, and that's the reason he got the tee. And so he is out today. So 3 times that's happened where he's been called for a 10-second violation. Stan Van Gundy told us before the game they've talked to Howard about it. Going to try to speed that up. Don't want to risk getting a tee in the postseason.
Well, back-to-back games. See, that's another problem. That happened back-to-back games. And then also the fact he got the technical because he rolled the ball away from the referees, not because of the 10-second violation. What you'd like to see him do is practice, and then they time him, and then also the shooting coach who is working with him puts him under a clock.
Lisa Salters has more.
Hey, Dave, well, I talked to Dwight Howard last night. He said he planned to watch the game at Quentin Richardson's house. Quentin also suspended for 2 games. But I talked to Dwight just about the situation with him and the technical fouls, and he says, you know what, I got to be above all of that. He says, I don't want to be known to be that guy known for getting the technical fouls. He says, that's not me. And I just, you know, I don't want to be that guy who's known as the complainer or the whiner. He says, I don't want people to think that I'm a bad guy because I get the technicals. That's something that's really concerning to him.
Arenas, meanwhile, hits a 3. He hit 6 the other night. And just to finish up on what you're saying, the reason that Quentin Richardson is suspended 2 games is because he got into a shoving incident with Gerald Henderson on Wednesday.
Well, you have to remember now that Dwight Howard is going to shoot and has shot close to 900 foul shots. Okay, so when that happens to you, what you are getting fouled night in and night out, and you're taking a physical beating. So consequently, you have also the fact that very few of these have been called, you know, flagrant fouls. So that's another side of all of this. He gets to the foul line 11.7 times a game. That is a tremendous amount of fouls being absorbed going to the foul line.
Boozer trying to complete the 3-point play after the foul by Malik Allen. Well, the technical's clear once you get to the postseason. You start fresh. And Howard, the league leader with 18 teams. Here's Arenas, who's really shot the ball poorly, but is coming on of late. Missed that time, and Boozer clears.
All right, now, you have to give Orlando a lot of credit in this quarter. Come on, they have 24 points, and we still have 2:20 to go. Their movement has been excellent. They have everybody foul line up in like a 2-3 set and then covering the corners. So that gives them a lot of movement into the lane area.
Rose off the mark. That's just the 3rd miss from the field for Chicago here in the first quarter.
One of their biggest pluses is offensive rebounding. They get to the board almost 12 times a game.
Gibson on the miss. The Bulls have out-rebounded their opponents by more than 400. That's only happened twice in the NBA in the last 13 years.
Well, when you say that there's a difference of a plus 5.6 in rebounds, you know they're going to be number 1. But they're not only a great defensive rebounding team where they're first or second, depending upon the week, but also they are a terrific offensive board team.
They've won 6 in a row, 5 straight on the road entering today. As Jameer Nelson, after the foul on Rose, throws it away.
Big thing, can Orlando continue to make the plays, and can they continue to shoot a high percentage of threes?
Here's Bogans.
Nice pass.
And Gibson had trouble with it down low. 5th turnover by Chicago. Anderson, the leading scorer for Orlando here in the opening quarter with 10. He's already hit 2 threes. Off the mark there. Boarded by Boozer. Stan Van Gundy wanted a foul called. Here's Rose exploding to the goal, and a foul called on Nelson, and Rose shaken up a bit.
Now that happened right by us, and we had a good look at that. And you're going to see the people are all upset because they wanted a charge. There's no doubt about it. You're going to see he's there, but he misses them, and you say, well, he caught his corner. Well, we all know this is also a partial flop, but he does catch him. He grazes him on the shoulder. Now, if you're going to get this call in this league, you've got to take it. You got to take it in the chest area, or you're not going to get the call.
See the numbers for Rose today. We asked him yesterday about continuing to play, even though they have the #1 record in the East wrapped up. He said, I want to play. We want to play. We want to keep this going. And they still can get the #1 seed overall. As you look at his numbers this year in comparison to last year, 22 30-point games. We talked about his improvement shooting the 3. And has become one of the best free throw shooters in the league.
Well, you got to give him his due. He's put in the time. He's an 86% foul shooter. And in his upper body strength, he's a lot thicker than you think. And the fact that he explodes so well, he's got great hands in traffic. So even if you get a part of his body, you do not seem to upset the rhythm of the shot.
Arenas has it blocked by Brewer from behind. Dang gets to the loose ball.
Well, that's 2 shots that Arena has forced in traffic. And once again, Chicago got a piece of it. That's the second one in this quarter.
Rose again, beautifully to the goal. Wow. Derrick Rose with 15 in the first quarter.
Now, let me tell you, that was some change of direction, okay? He was going left, and he came back with that crossover. Not only the crossover, but the step. The step was beautiful.
Last time we saw a crossover like that by a Bull was also the last time they won a championship. Michael Jordan against Brian Russell, 98.
There are the hands.
3 seconds left. Dang able to catch up to it and stripped by Nelson as the buzzer sounds.
Now give Nelson a lot of credit. He ran that down, and he ran it down and made a terrific defensive play.
32 first quarter points on the road by Chicago.
Welcome back to Orlando. Coach, you're up 8, but what did you think about your defense in that first quarter?
Well, it's not very good. Anderson brings a lot more shooting to their team, range shooting, so they got to spread out. But we're not closing hard enough, Anderson. He's getting a good look at the basket, so we got to do a much better job in that area.
But Derrick Rose, like he told us yesterday, it looks like he's able to do whatever he wants to do out there. What's working for him?
Well, he's running the team. He's playing with a great pace, pushing the ball up the floor. He's getting into the paint, and he's making good decisions.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach. Dave?
Well, I think you have to look at it and say, hey, Ryan Anderson has 10 points and 4 rebounds, and he's 2 for 3 in threes. Now, Tom is right on it. They got to close him out. But Noah, that puts a lot of pressure on your center because he takes him outside behind the three-point line.
Derrick Rose in that first quarter with 15 points and 6 of 8 shooting. He's on the bench to start the second quarter. And you just saw that air ball by C.J. Watson, who's out there for him. Meanwhile, look at the 5 on the floor for Orlando. Their force is depleted with the suspensions, and J.J. Redick still out with an injury. So you got Arenas, Duhon, Bass, Clark, and Turkoglu.
Well, they're very small. See, that's how they have to play. They have to play give-and-go basketball, and then also come off the screen, hit the roll man.
Chicago shot 71% in the opening quarter. as Gibson is called for traveling. 6th Bulls turnover.
Well, it's kind of shoddy at both ends. At the end of the first quarter, both teams had 5 turnovers. Now, the one thing, though, Orlando only had 24 points, so that's 2 above what Chicago likes to give out in a quarter. Big thing right now is to pay attention defensively and try not to get backdoored or get up and get help. So right there, you see that's a bad coverage on a pick and roll.
Earl Clark knocking down the jumper. First-round pick a year ago out of Louisville by the Suns.
See, if you're not going to make that dribbler change direction as he comes over that screen, all right, now the roll guy's not open. The pop guy's not open except for one thing. He keeps his dribble and he gets down into the paint, and that's bad coverage.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Brewer, the former Jazz, and he misses on the 2. Turkoglu now pushing tempo. Turkoglu was a key on that 09 team that went to the finals as Arenas is off the mark. Turkoglu went to Toronto after that, then Phoenix, and now back with the Magic as Bass is way off.
Big thing right now for the Chicago group. Understand you got Deng out there. You got to play to your strength. Gibson is a good post-up guy on Clark. That's a good advantage for you down inside. But the main thing is stay away from the early long jump shots on the shot clock.
Brewer to the bucket. Asik trying to keep it alive. It'll go to Orlando.
Now Brewer has come in here now and has attempted 2 quick shots off balance. That's not what you want to see with the second unit. Come on. Have patience here. Your ball movement got you 10 points, 10 plus points in the painted area in that first quarter. Stay with what you're doing.
Turkoglu knocks it down. 11th year in the NBA, averaging 11 points per contest. And Tom Thibodeau calls a timeout as the Magic has scored 6 straight to start the quarter.
Yeah, it's a good timeout. He's coach not happy now with shot selection and definitely not happy with the defense.
ESPN's NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC. Brought to you by KFC. Today is a KFC day, and today tastes so good.
And Stu, here's the remaining games for Boston and Miami. The Celtics hold a tiebreaker. If they win, their magic number is 1. If Miami wins, still a lot of work to do to get the 2 seed. Their magic number would be 2. It's a big game coming up later on ABC.
I like it. A lot of pressure on both teams. You know that Miami must excel at home. They've allowed a few sub-500 teams, to get a piece of them in their own building.
How concerned are you if you're a Celtics fan right now based on what you've seen since the
Well, come on. The main thing right now is where's Shaq? Shaq, we see, is going to be held out of the remaining games. They were counting on Shaq, hopefully, to give them 25 to 29 minutes at the center position, backed up by Kristich. Now you have Kristich and Jermaine O'Neal trying to hold down that center position. You say, well, what's the difference? The big difference is when Shaq plays a center, you do not need to double team. And the perimeter people, you can stay at home and cut down the three-point shooting. So there's a major difference just in that category alone.
The number of regular season games missed by Shaq this year, the most in his career. And he definitely will not play the next 2 games, did not make the road trip. We've got a 2-game trip before finishing up Wednesday at home against the Knicks. Asik inside, able to get it to go.
Now that was beautiful movement. They were open on one side. They didn't like it. They came back on the other side on a down screen and a curl. And then the extra pass to a free big man going to the front of the rim.
There's Turkoglu with the jumper. And rebounded by Gibson.
Now you can't lay back off of the screen with Turkoglu, and you can see that Asik is doing that. Turkoglu will come off, pick up his dribble, and look for that shot every time.
5 boards now for Gibson. Orlando has 7 as a team. The Magic have really struggled rebounding against Chicago this year as Korver hits. In the game here in Orlando in March that the Bulls won, Chicago was plus 20 on the glass.
Well, the down screening on both sides of the lane causing havoc defensively for Orlando. Orlando is one of the better half-court defensive teams in the league, but they run hard and they screen hard.
Lou and myself are so passionate about giving back because majority of us came from places where it was rough growing up. As an NBA player, people are going to look up to you. Wherever city you're in, wherever city you're playing for, just giving back, knowing that you care, I think that's the biggest thing. The way I look at it, when you give, you shall receive, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Rose from Chicago, went to Simeon High School, college at Memphis, now back in his hometown, the Windy City, in his third year in the league as Turkoglu is fouled and will shoot 2. Incredible season for Derrick Rose. And look at this company, needs 39 points to become just the third since the merger to get 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season. Would be the first point guard to do that too.
Now just think about that. This guy's come out of nowhere this year. Now he's been very good in years 1 and 2, but this year he has stepped up and gone to a different echelon. When you say that you're in the same sentence with Jordan and LeBron James, that's saying something about your career.
And Chicago has the best record in the East, securing the #1 seed. They're a game and a half back of San Antonio for the #1 overall seed. Still a possibility. A crazy tiebreaker, in fact, unprecedented tiebreaker situation should the two finish with the same mark. Speaking of finishes, Gibson on the baseline dunks it down.
That was great. That was great because they had 3 different shots. Korver had a shot when he passed the ball. He had another shot, and then a great ball fake by Gibson to get to the rim. And when you go to the basket, 2 hands strong down in.
If the Bulls and Spurs finish in a tie because they were even during this regular season, as Korver steps back and nails a 3. They also have the same 1-loss record against the opponent's conference. It would come down to a random draw as to who would be the #1 overall seed for home court throughout the playoffs.
Now, Korver is one of the top 3-point shooters in the league. Shoots it at 42%. They'll give up that layup in traffic to kick out to the corners, especially if he's open.
Turkoglu with a brick, almost banked it in. Bulls have hit their last 5 shots from the field. They lead by 11. Korver providing a spark off the bench as he did so often in Utah. That looked like it hit the leg of a Sheik and out of bounds. Should be Orlando ball, and it is Magic ball. So San Antonio right now with the best mark at 61-19. The next game for the Spurs is Tuesday at the Lakers. Then they're at Phoenix Wednesday. Chicago has the Knicks and the Nets in their last 2 games.
Well, the main thing there in the West, remember now, Dallas is only 1 game on the loss side behind the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oklahoma City not out of it for the 2 spot in the West. They play the Lakers tonight in LA. Turkoglu falling away, gets the 2.
Well, he's definitely looking for a shot with this group that is out on the floor. And they're going to a guy who can shoot a high percentage. A very high percentage streak shooter.
Gibson from the elbow. And Arenas out of there with it for the Magic. Again, no Dwight Howard today, serving a 1-game suspension for his 18th technical. The Magic trying to get offense from other people like Bass and Anderson. Anderson has 10 points. He's the leading scorer for Orlando today. 15 for Rose to lead the way for the Bulls. Rose has not played yet here in the second quarter. Watson.
Nice.
Gibson foul.
Once again, good bench play. You could see the curl. Hey, Watson could have shot that ball. Instead, always reward the screeners. That keeps your front court people happy because they are sacrificing their body on the screen. And then when they roll and they're open, please get the ball to them when they're open.
First foul on Orlando. It's on Arenas as Anderson returns, and Taj Gibson, second year out of USC, at the free throw line. Both head coaches, Stan Van Gundy, Tom Thibodeau, wired for sound today.
Stay disciplined. Everyone do their job. Keep the ball moving. Stay together on defense down here.
Move the ball, make plays. Got to help each other. Come on, come on, come on.
2 very intense coaches, both lost their voice in training camp.
Yeah, well, you know, Tom Thibodeau is right on the money because he's disappointed in his half-court defense. He wants his guys to wake up. you know, sometimes subconsciously you come in here and you say, hey, no Dwight Howard. You know, we are up on them 2-1 in the series.
Brandon Bath, what a throwdown.
See, that's what you're worried about. We're getting beat off the dribble into the paint. 2 guys are rotating in red shirts defensively, and then there is a white shirt moving on the baseline. And that's what the coaching staff at Chicago is upset about. Watch this drop off to the right side of your screen.
Doubleheader on Wednesday, starting with the Mavs at home against New Orleans, followed by the Grizzlies against Blake Griffin and the Clippers. It all starts with Kia NBA Countdown at 7:30. Derrick Rose with 15 points in the opening quarter, back on the floor for the first time here in the second period.
Now that New Orleans at Dallas game could be extremely meaningful because of that log jam at 6, 7, and 8 in the West.
What a year for New Orleans as Boozer has that pass go through his hands. Monty Williams, I know he was one of your finalists for Hubie for Coach of the Year. He's done a great job.
He really has. 2 new starters, you know, with Bellinelli and then also Ariza, and then also a new bench, 5 new guys that they picked up as free agents and trades, a new coaching staff, and you love what Chris Paul said. We have the best coaching staff in the league. That's some compliment.
Have to do it without David West. Their star is out with an ACL. Richardson spotting up, can't hit the 3. And Jameer Nelson got the rebound.
Yeah, one of the very few offensive rebounds for Orlando.
Here's Bats coming off that highlight jam. It's a mid-range jumper to get the Magic back within 6.
Coach Van Gundy not saying that his team doesn't play hard. They play hard every single night. Big thing has been for them incredible injuries. Also, they've lost a lot of tough games. And big thing also for them is, hey, can we stay healthy once we get Riddick back and we get Howard back? Can we stay healthy into the playoffs?
Korver with a miss. Nelson hit Turkoglu in transition. It won't go, but a foul.
Now, if he would have finished with his left hand, he would have got the foul and possibly a 3-point play. This is good basketball. Hey, I'm running hard on the break. Give it to me in the middle of the floor. I like the fact that Jameer Nelson is looking for him all the way. At the end of that first quarter, Nelson had 5 assists. And at the other end, Chicago had 4 assists.
Second foul on Chicago here in the period. Turkoglu shooting poorly at the foul line this year, just 67%. The next generation of WNBA stars born tomorrow, 3 Eastern on ESPN with the 2011 draft presented by Adidas. Maya Moore headlining this year's class. Minnesota has the first pick in the draft, which will be held at ESPN for the first time.
Main thing with Orlando, look, we know that they're last in foul shooting at 30%. The main reason is the fact that so many foul shots are attempted by Dwight Howard, and right now he's at that 59%. You would just hope that throughout the career that he could get it up close to 70.
Nelson, a 40% three-point shooter, a career best 112 threes on the year.
Well, they're at their best when he's shooting the 3-ball. Because we know that he can shoot it at 50% and then the 3-ball up over 40.
A 10-1 Magic run to get back within 2. Rose taking it to the goal, finishing with the left. What a move by Derrick Rose.
Now that was cagey. That was just beautiful. Because when he came in there, you know, the defender, you're looking to go for the right hand. Instead, he came right back with the left, right in the face of the defender.
7 of 9 from the field now is Rose, front runner for the MVP. Richardson able to get past the defender with the stuff.
Well, you can see the frustration on the face of the red shirts, the guys from Chicago, because of all of these layups and hard dunks and movement. And by that, you could see 3 defenders were standing there looking who was responsible for that coverage. Keep an eye on this now. Now just watch the drop-off, and then Richardson is going to send this baby down. You had 3 shirts there, and then when it was over, the 3 guys are looking. Come on. Korver is looking. Where's my help?
Shot clock issue. That's the reason for the delay. The Bulls are the #1 defense in the league in terms of field goal percentage allowed. 3-point shooting allowed and number 2 in points allowed. Averaging 88 points allowed per game over the last 23. Been terrific all year as Noah gets inside, and a
Nice
great
steal.
strip by Turkoglu.
Great steal.
Orlando can tie, maybe take the lead on this possession. Bass got position on Korver. Richardson with the follow.
I like that. If Korver is going to play Bass, you have to post them every time. Bass is too strong for him down inside because he has quickness off the dribble with his back to the basket.
Timeout Chicago as Orlando has tied it at 46.
Now keep an eye on Derrick Rose on this baseline dribble and how he shifts hands right there. That is just a clever finish. Now at the other end, this is a strong move by Bass. You don't get the score, but here is your second shot attempt, and you tie the game.
The opening minute here in Orlando as it's time once again to dish out some Hubie Awards. How about Rookie of the Year in the NBA? Finalists Gary Neal, John Wall, and Blake Griffin. The Hubie goes to Blake Griffin.
Well, Blake Griffin, let's face it, he's one of 4 guys in the league averaging a 20-10. Now the 6th man of the year.
You've got J.R. Smith, Jason Terry, but you're giving it to Lamar Odom.
Well, I like Lamar Odom. He's done a terrific job filling in this season. He's right up there in the top 10 in rebounding. He's also in the top 10 in field goal percentage. He's done a terrific job. When he gets his minutes, he'll give you 15 and 10.
Out of the timeout, the Bulls get an easy one with Dang down low. Chicago by 2 as we near the 1-minute mark here in the second quarter.
The reason why Orlando is back in this, come on now, 6 offensive rebounds that have given him 9 points. In the first quarter, it was 3-point shooting. In the second quarter, it's second shot attempts.
Richardson stripped by Rose, got it back, has 4 to shoot. Anderson cannot stick it back, and rebounded by Noah.
Now, give Anderson a lot of credit. He got in there and actually almost made a miraculous catch and put back.
Both teams with a foul to give. And 9 seconds to shoot. Boozer on the baseline. Beats Brewer, and Anderson there with a block. Brewer got it back and puts it home.
Now that was an excellent recovery by Brewer. You know, very quietly, Luol Deng has been quiet in this game. He's only got 1 for 3 in shots. We're talking about a guy who gives you 18 points a game.
Turkoglu falling away, can't hit. Rebound Noah. T-Mobile halftime report up next. First half analysis plus a preview of Game 2. Our NBA Sunday Showcase, Celtics and Heat from Miami.
Big thing now is you got to try to keep Rose in front of you now. If you use 2 guys on him, you got to find a free guy. There it is.
Boozer way off. Rebound Richardson. Nelson going to get it off from half court. It's goes!
All right.
Nelson with a buzzer beater. Jameer Nelson with a half-court shot. They're taking a look at it, but it appeared that he released it before. And you can see there, definitely got it off in time. It's good, and Orlando's within 1 at halftime. So Nelson with the 3. Derrick Rose, though, stole the show. He is with Lisa Salters.
Thank you, Dave. Derrick, I know you're not pleased with that buzzer beater. What were you thinking when it left his hands?
I was hoping it didn't go in, but it did. We got another half. We let down. They came back. We just got to stay solid throughout the whole game.
You had an 11-point lead. You say you let down. What specifically changed for you guys?
Rebound the ball. Not communicating on the defensive end. They getting easy baskets, and it's hurting us right now.
All right, thank you. Dave.
15 first quarter points for Rose, 17 for the half, and Chicago on the road has a 1-point lead. T-Mobile halftime report up next, as we'll have first half analysis for you and a preview of the Celtics and Heat in that battle for the 2 seed in the East. Chicago, the number 1 seed in the East, still a chance at the number 1 overall seed in the NBA playoffs, leading by 1 despite the 3-pointer at the buzzer by Nelson. The Bulls and Magic, big one for Chicago. Yes, the 1 seed wrapped up in the East, but still a chance to have the #1 overall seed heading into the playoffs. Dave Pasch, Hubie Brown, whether you're a first-timer or you've seen every game Derrick Rose has played in the NBA, you probably saw things in that first half you haven't seen before by him.
Well, he's definitely explosive. He gave us a great half. Now just keep an eye on this ball movement. Now just watch the protection of the ball. See both hands? Now he'll avoid the player and then his elevation. He plays the glass extremely well. You saw he cradled there strong. Now just watch what happens here. 4 guys are right on him now. Now watch how quick he's going to protect the ball and then come on that crossover. 1 step elevation in your face. Now this is just a miraculous shot, a beautiful move, elevation, and then the ability to score. Now 17 points, 7 for 9 from the field, 1 for 2 in threes in the first half. Now Orlando is getting good production from key guys, Richardson, Anderson, and Turkoglu. The main key for them has been the 3-ball. They have made 6 threes, plus they have 7 offensive rebounds for 9 points.
And again, Dwight Howard not playing today because of NBA suspension. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Dave. Well, even though the Magic cut their deficit to 1 after being down 11, Stan Van Gundy not in a very good mood coming out of the locker room. He said, we still can't score, and we're having a lot of trouble stopping them. He said they're shooting 62% from the field in that first half. We're lucky to be where we are. I asked him any ideas about how to slow down Derrick Rose. He just looked at me and said, no, none.
Well, even he said, he's obviously going to promote his own player as Anderson gets to follow, and he believes Dwight Howard affects a possession maybe more than anybody in the NBA, but even Van Gundy has said he believes Derrick Rose is the MVP.
Now right there where you saw why they're still in this game. That was their 10th offensive rebound and their 11th point on second shot. Now the defense for Chicago has been excellent on the initial play, but they got to start rebounding the ball.
First lead for Orlando. They add to it on the dunk by Anderson.
Yeah, I like this right now. Okay, Tom Thibodeau is going to try to win this game. He just called another timeout. If you notice, when you're on the road, you don't let a lot of time go by. You make a quick timeout and you stop the action. This is a great move right here. Drop it off. Always reward the trailer.
Wednesday, catch the series premiere of ABC's Happy Endings. When life throws you a curve, hold on tight to the people you love. The special premiere of ABC's Happy Endings, Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, after Modern Family. So the Bulls come back with a bucket out of the timeout. That was not a happy timeout. Derrick Rose was all over his teammates, kind of leadership that Tom Thibodeau has talked about with him.
No, they're not. Let's face it, that was an excellent timeout, and it's all about defense. And you can see right there on the slap, he got the ball, but also he gets the face.
Here's what we're talking about with Rose being very vocal in that huddle.
Well, no. When you're the #1 defensive team in the league and you're the #1 differential team, you're playing hard because you still want to catch San Antonio. You just say, hey, that's not going to happen. No, you don't think that way. You just play one game at a time. They've been using their timeouts quickly. Why? They don't want Orlando to go on a long run. So that's been good. But the rebounding has been atrocious in this game. We told you that they're #1 at a plus 5.6 in rebounding. That's very hard to do in this league, but not today. Give Orlando a ton of credit. They are hustling, they're working the glass, and it's paying off with 11 second chance points.
Looking at our NBA calendar, Knicks and Indiana tonight on NBA TV. Big one with the Lakers in Oklahoma City. Then Tuesday on TNT, Bulls at the Knicks, San Antonio's at the Lakers. Wednesday on ESPN, Dallas hosts New Orleans, Memphis at the Clippers. And the playoffs begin ABC 3:30 Eastern on Saturday. Foul is on Noah. Orlando on top by 1. Don't forget game 2 of our final Sunday regular season here on NBA. On ABC, you got Miami and Boston battling for the 2 seed in the East. Chicago's got the 1 seed. The Bulls will play Indiana. Alley-oop off the mark, intended for Richardson.
The energy level defensively for Orlando has been excellent.
What a look by Derrick Rose. He faked like he was going to toss it to the wing and hits Noah underneath for the dunk.
Yeah, the main thing right now is you can't move and leave a guy uncontested who is down in the lane. Never leave a man and rotate up.
Turkoglu. And Rose able to save it and wisely throw it off of Brandon Bass.
I'll tell you, Brandon Bass was up there. He was up there high. And Rose was down inside of him. This is a smart move by Rose.
Bulls going for their 60th win of the season. They win the East first time since 1998. They won 62 that year in their 6th championship.
They're paying a lot of attention to Rose now out of the halftime.
And Bogans buries a three.
If you're going to double team him, he'll give it up. They'll make the second pass to that other corner. And the corners will be open on any double teaming of Rose.
Here's Anderson, able to answer from three.
Turkoglu said, hey, Hubie, when you double team me in the lane, I'll find the corner also. You give Anderson a ton of credit. That's his 3rd three in this game. Now, they are shooting the ball well. That's their 7th three that they've made already.
17 points for Anderson. Turkoglu almost with the strip. Rose turns it over. Here's Nelson. An easy two.
Now, Nelson is having a very solid game. Not only with the assists, but that is his 3rd steal in this game.
Orlando will be the 4 seed in the postseason. Will play Atlanta in the first round. They swept the Hawks in the conference semis a year ago, but Atlanta won the season series 3-1 this year. Noah blew the layup after that great move.
Now that was just a beautiful fake handoff. Unfortunately, no cigar.
I don't know if Bass thought that the pass was going to Richardson instead of him. Looked like he put his hands down when the pass was thrown his way. Turnover Orlando. Here is the Eastern Conference playoff picture if the season ended today. Again, Miami, Boston battling for the 2 seed in the East.
Now you can see Orlando. Atlanta has them this year 3 games to 1. That is totally uncharacteristic. Of the 3 previous seasons, Orlando owned Atlanta. But by getting Heinrich, he does a good job defensively on Nelson. And then also their front line has played extremely well against Orlando.
Now what about teams like New York and Philadelphia as the 3 is in and out? Now, can they possibly get an upset in the first round?
Well, look, it depends upon who they're matched up with. We know that during the year, Miami and New York are 2-2. But let's face it, when you get to the playoff time, you got a day off in between games. What you want to be, you want both teams to be injury-free. You want your best players to be able to get high percentage shots. There's a lot that goes into that winning that first round.
Chicago ball. Derrick Rose, 19 points to lead all scorers.
Remember when you talk about playoffs and you're the 6th, 7th, or 8th team, can you win a game in the other team's building? That's so important.
Well, great year for Philadelphia after that rough start. Doug Collins done a great job there. Turkoglu, no. Bass can't follow it.
I tell you what, though, I like what Turkoglu is doing here. I mean, he's getting free in the lane area, and he's getting to the rim.
Oh, Rose again, just not ready.
Yeah, that was a bullet, okay? You needed a glove. You got to be Derek Jeter tonight, okay? Your Red Sox are playing the Yankees today. Come on, you need a glove with this. Just watch it. Oh, that's a bullet. Mainly because Noah has good hands. We're not talking about a guy that fumbles any ball. That just blew right by him.
How about the initial move by Rose just to get into the lane? He told Lisa, hey, I can get wherever I want to. He's not kidding. As Boozer picks up a foul on the other end.
Main thing for Atlanta, for Orlando, just take your time. Just take your time and make sure you get high percentage shots. You've been doing a good job with your movement.
They played well without Dwight Howard today. Anderson again, off the mark this time. Bass got the rebound. Nelson. Here's Anderson in the corner, falling out of bounds. Long rebound to Luol Deng. Quiet.
Well, anytime that Orlando, you drive the lane or you drive the baseline, the opposite corner is open.
Bogans, no. Noah trying to keep it alive. Look at Anderson work, too, on the defensive glass.
Now, come on, I'm impressed with Orlando today. They've really rebounded the ball and have done a great job. How about
Anderson for three, and he's got 20.
How about this guy? Is he doing a job or what? Not only is he scoring the three ball, he's shooting a high percentage, he's rebounding, he's got 3 offensive boards.
He had 10 in the first quarter, 10 in the third quarter. Remember, they traded Rashard Lewis, they traded Gortat, so a lot is on the shoulders of Anderson and Bass in the front court come playoff time for the Magic.
Anytime that you're moving, you can post up Turkoglu down inside. Whether it's Luol Deng or whether there's a switch. The main thing is to go down inside. There's a good fake, and here comes Anderson on that follow.
ESPN's NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC. Brought to you by the all-new 100% reinvented Ford Explorer. And KFC. Today is a KFC day, and today tastes so good.
With Hubie Brown, Dave Pasch, only a couple more Hubies to give away, and it's time to dish out the Defensive Player of the Year award here in 2011. Hubie, your nominees are Luol Deng, Chuck Hayes, and Dwight Howard. Howard is the winner. He won the last 2 Defensive Players.
Right, mainly because 2nd in rebound, 3rd in blocks, 22nd in steals. Luol Deng is there because, according to Tom Thibodeau, he's the anchor of our defense. Chuck Hayes is there because any guy who night in and night out, 82 nights, plays center in this league at 6'6", and that's an exaggeration, deserves an award. He deserves to be mentioned.
Anderson this time to the basket. He's got 22 points. Playing without Dwight Howard today. Anderson, the starting center. And he has really stepped up. Had one of his best games as a pro. 3rd year out of Cal. He's only 22 years of age.
Well, you just love his total game here tonight. You know, when you're talking about Anderson, we're talking about a guy who has made 4 threes. He has 3 offensive boards, 6 boards. And the most important thing is, like we said in the first quarter, he's given Loa a lot of trouble. And you say, why? Because Noah is rotating time and time again because the outside guys are getting beat off the dribble, and then Anderson is being active. And then even in transition, Noah is trying to help on the dribblers, and then Anderson pulls up either in the corner or as a trailer at the top of the circle for the 3-point attempt.
Derrick Rose, the first pick in the 2008 draft. We've got the WNBA draft for you, presented by Adidas tomorrow, 3 Eastern on ESPN. Minnesota has the first pick, and the season gets underway on ABC. Phoenix at Seattle, June 4th.
Very quietly, the guy with the ball is having a great game. 10 points for Jameer Nelson, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists. 8 assists in this game.
That almost went in. Nelson hit a half-court shot at the end of the first half and almost got that one to go, and the foul by Rose, his second.
Now, this is just an excellent ball fake because he saw Rose had left his feet, and it was just a matter of getting the contact.
Jameer Nelson, 80% free throw shooter. Had knee problems the last couple years and a shoulder injury in 09. Returned in the finals against the Lakers. Orlando didn't win that series, but he has been a key player for them.
Remember now, before the injury, he was shooting over 50 from the field, over 40 from threes, and over 80 on the foul line. He was having a spectacular season.
First round pick in 04. He's in his 7th year out of St. Joe's. And Orlando leads by 2. Boy, if they can win this game, Chicago still has a lot to play for. This would be a big win for Orlando without Dwight Howard, as they have struggled at times against some of the better teams in the East. That went through the legs of Nelson. They're saying Boozer touched it last, though.
Well, unfortunately for Boozer, the idea was great, and that was the fake and then the spin move. But the ball got away from him.
Only 8 points for Boozer, just 8 for Deng and 4 for Noah. Rose, the only Bull in double figures with 21. 3 Magic in double digits. Nelson's one of them with 12. Anderson, the leading scorer in the game with 22. Shot clock at 5 for Turkoglu with Gibson defending. Turkoglu rising too strong, kept alive by Anderson, and now Bogans. Chicago trying to win its 7th straight, get its 60th win of the year. Just 41 each of the last 2. 3-point opportunity as Boozer finds Gibson.
Now that was beautiful. Coming off the pick, you could see what happened. Rose was trapped. All right, now you hit the roll guy. There he is right there. Now watch down below. You have an advantage. Why? Because the man who was playing, Bogans, rotated up in that situation. I'm sorry, playing Gibson at that time. But that's good basketball. Excellent movement, and that's all by design, that type of movement. Boozer is either going to roll or he's going to spot up. If he rolls, you stay. If he spots up, you move into his spot.
Malik Allen picking up the foul, and now on the other end, Bogans fouls Arenas. 4th team foul in Chicago. We mentioned that at times this year Orlando has struggled against the upper echelon teams in the East, losing records against Chicago, Boston, Atlanta. They've beaten the sub 500 teams. Well, New York right now over 500 thanks to a 6-game win streak. Shot clock at 3. Turkoglu down the lane, can't flip it in. Anderson's tip won't go. And Turkoglu is hurt on the other end. It's a 5-on-4. Nelson fouls
Good
Rose.
foul. Now this is just a strong move. Turkoglu was up high in that situation.
And again, right now, Orlando with only 10 players eligible to play today because of injuries and suspensions, as you see Turkoglu go down hard on that right arm.
Now he just came ready. His leg got caught in the leg of the defender. And when he came down, you could see they were interlocked, and that caused him to land hard on his arm. Stan Van Gundy very concerned, naturally. Why? This is one of your top assist guys on your team in Turkoglu, and we all know that under pressure many nights they will end coming down in the last 2 minutes with Turkoglu with the ball in his hands, handling in high pick and rolls because he reads so well and he can also finish. He's averaging close to 5 assists a game. Not just his scoring, but his ball handling and his ability to distribute the ball.
His best years in the NBA have come as a member of the Magic, as Deng, who's had a quiet day offensively, is now in double figures with 6 in the quarter and 10 for the game.
Yeah, but see, he doesn't rush anything. He just stays within what you're doing. His shots will come.
Here's Malik Allen with a short jumper. Veteran out of Villanova, averaging just a point per game.
Well, Malik has been around a long time. He's been with a lot of winning teams and in playoffs, and we know that he can hit that medium jump shot facing.
Chicago shooting 64% from the field this quarter. Deng rattles it home, and the Bulls back up by 3.
Well, see, they're trying to play with 2 small guards with Arenas and Nelson. That moves Richardson up front on Deng. Now he's giving him at least 4 inches. But the big thing is that Deng is looking to score at this juncture of the game.
Ball. Yankees, Red Sox. Boston just 1-7 on the year. The lone win coming Friday against New York. It's presented by Taco Bell tonight over on ESPN. Don't forget, coming up next on ABC, it's Boston, Miami, the battle for the 2 seed in the East. The Celtics 3-0 against the Heat. Orlando, Atlanta, a definite first-round matchup. Chicago, Indiana, another set matchup for the first round of the playoffs. Bulls shooting 64% from the field right now, but just a 3-point lead, as Jameer Nelson has had a terrific game. 12 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. And he's shooting 3 free throws after the foul by Derrick Rose. The 3rd on Rose, 15 foul, as Chicago's over the limit. And kids, if you're between the ages of 6 and 12, ask your parents for permission to visit www.nbahooptroop.com. Enter the Shot Clock shopping spree. You could win one of 3 VIP trips to New York City where you and an NBA star will shoot and score as much NBA gear as you can in 24 seconds. We're tied at 70 as Nelson gets all 3 and now has 15 points. Chicago still fighting for the #1 overall record in the NBA. 1 game back of San Antonio in the loss column entering today. Here's Rose rising and knocking down a 3. He's got 24.
Now that's the improvement in his game, where in his first 2 years he shot 22% and 27%. This year he's over 33, which is a major improvement. Now that he went one way, came back the other, opened up that 3-point shot.
125th triple for Rose this year. Arenas missing. Gibson clears.
Now, right now for Orlando, you have 3 guys. Anderson, Richardson, and Nelson are carrying this team.
Rose fouled. 14 foul on the Magic.
Now we're going to give you Derrick Rose. See, he went right one time. Now he came off the second time. If you're going to stand there and just look at him, you say, well, Malik Allen is not going to come out on that switch and force him. Now the 3-point percentages, look for that. And then also this season, it's just been a major increase. Now, you ask him, why the improvement? 1,000 shots a day, double sessions, 6 days a week in the summer for 2 months. That's one reason. The other thing is confidence, and that's exactly what he said. I'm confident I can make the shot.
There he is to the bucket. He's always had that explosion to the goal. 26 points. He's missed just 2 shots all day.
Now, if you're a point guard and you're sitting out there watching this guy play, you might not have his quickness, but can you finish with your right hand and your left hand the way he does? Can you play the glass as smoothly as Derrick Rose? That's something to work at.
We talk with Ray Allen and Doc Rivers of the Boston Celtics, who play later today on ABC, about their thoughts on the MVP race.
I would pick Derrick Rose.
Because?
His team now is there at the top of the Eastern Conference. He's the big reason for that. You take him off the team, and I'm not sure how good they would be.
Derrick Rose. Yeah, and I just think he's. I just keep thinking of the fourth quarter comebacks, you know, and the fact that they've had all these injuries and all that stuff. But I keep looking at the fourth quarter comebacks that he's kind of led by himself in some ways. That I would give to him.
Well, the main thing that they're talking about there is that Boozer's missed 23 games, Noah 34. They very seldom have had both guys together in the lineup this club. And the fact that anytime the game is on the line from 6 minutes down, he's such a destructive force because he's coming at you 3-point mid-range, taking it to the rim, and then if you foul him, he shoots 86% on the line.
And here's the blocking call on Anderson sliding into Rose, who will shoot. You talked about how great he's been at the free throw line. He's 23 of his last 23 at the stripe. And he's shooting 2 here. He's got 26 points, 9 in the third. He came up hobbling after that Gibson foul on the other end when he got caught in a screen. We mentioned Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and the Celtics come up next on ABC. They're taking on the Heat in Miami. Probably watching our game right now, keeping an eye on what these 2 teams are doing. Top 4 teams in the East and 4 of the top 5 teams in terms of points allowed in the NBA in action today.
Well, when you talk about Paul Pierce, you're talking about a complete player. Not only does he score the ball, he's a 25 to 30 point at any time in any game if he gets the shots. An excellent defender, and then a very good rebounder for you at the small forward position.
That is going to be fun to watch coming up next. Celtics have had their number this year as Richardson hits a much-needed 3 for Orlando.
Now, he just came off of what we call a staggered screen. One screen on the right side of the lane, another screen on the left side of the lane as he comes from right to left. Now, that's difficult to do. Make the catch and hit a 3.
Dang for the answer. Hit it!
By the way, who is this guy in the second half, right? I mean, very quietly in the first half, and this half he's just been spectacular.
He's got 11 here in the quarter, 15 for the game. Could be his best year as a pro as Richardson hits again, this time at 2.
Now, no matter what, Anderson, Richardson, and Nelson are keeping Orlando in this game. All three guys are shooting a high percentage, and they are playing with incredible competition. Their energy level is terrific to watch.
But a 9-second difference between game and shot clocks. Boozer collects off the heel. And now Orlando can hold for the final shot of the quarter. Remember, Jameer Nelson hit a half-court shot at the end of the second quarter as time ran out. Nelson on Rose, 5 seconds left. Nelson lost it, collects, got to get rid of it. He does. Wave it off, would not have counted. And Chicago leads by 3 after 3. This presentation of the NBA Showcase on ABC will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to Orlando. Stan, they are shooting 65% from the field. You told me at halftime you feel lucky to be in it with them shooting like that. What do you have to do defensively?
We just have not been able to guard them at all. I mean, they're hitting threes, they're getting layups. I mean, we haven't done anything well defensively.
So in this fourth quarter, what's going to be the key for you guys?
Well, we got to get some stops. We've scored enough points against a great defensive team. Hope we can keep that up, but we've got to try to hold them to a 20-point quarter here.
All right, thank you, Stan.
Well, he's right on the money. The big thing is that you need the defensive stops. It isn't that they're hurting you in second chance points. They only have 2 points on second chance, mainly because they're shooting 65% and there are very few second shot opportunities.
How about 69% in the third quarter and 36 points in the paint without Dwight Howard today. He played in the other 3 games against Chicago. You see the difference in the Bulls' field goal percentage with Howard not on the floor due to NBA suspension, as Richardson starting to heat up here. About the second half of that third quarter, he's tied it at 80.
Look, this guy is 8 for 10 in the game. He's 3 for 3 in threes, but you can see, you can feel him that he's open. When he's coming off those screens hard, he's looking to score.
Loose ball foul on Gibson for the push. No basket. First on Chicago in the quarter.
Now watch this down screen on the screen here for Richardson as Richardson comes off. Now this is difficult to do. There's your one screen right there. There's your second screen. He's catching the ball with his back to the baseline and the rim, and he's turning as he elevates. That is hard to do.
Offensive foul on Orlando on Arenas underneath the hoop. Collided with Dang. But back to your point on Jason Richardson. He's number 2 in the NBA in threes. He was very good for Phoenix in the playoffs last year, helped them get to the conference finals, hoping to get Orlando back to the conference finals this year.
3 times in his career he's averaged over 20 points, so this isn't new to him. This guy's accustomed to scoring the ball.
Scored the last 8 for the Bulls here today. No Derrick Rose to start the fourth quarter, so Watson at the point gets a screen from a sheet. Watson lost the ball, but it's last touched by Orlando.
Now give Orlando great credit for their defensive energy and also the fact that they have forced the Chicago Bulls into 14 turnovers already. And believe me now, we still have 10.5 minutes to go here.
Kick ball.
Oh, they got lucky there. They really got lucky there. That ball was going right to an Orlando player.
Yes, it was. Asik trying to bounce it in there. And so the shot clock, which was at 3, now at 14 on the reset because of the kick.
Now the second unit for Chicago has scored 17 points in this game. Now they're out there, the 4 subs, along with Luol Deng.
Couldn't tell initially if that was going to Asik or Brewer. They're in the same spot, but it's Brewer, and the Bulls back up by 2.
As this game has moved on, it's amazing how they hurt you with baseline cutting when you think that a shot might go up or you think that you've stopped a dribbler.
Here's Duhon. Tough move by the former Bull, Chris Duhon.
Nice move.
First 4 years with Chicago, then went to the Knicks, and his 7th year now in the NBA. Orlando will be the 4th seed in the playoffs. Bulls the 1 seed. They're still going for the best overall record in the league as a foul is called on Arenas underneath.
Now see, their patience has been nice to watch here today. They just ran a screen on the left side of the lane for Luol Deng as he came around. The screener came right up to the foul line extended. Then they made another screen on a down screen on the opposite side of the floor. Just nice to watch.
First team foul on Orlando here in the quarter. Brewer at the foul line. We've got more NBA action for you Wednesday, starting with Kia NBA Countdown at 7:30, followed by the Hornets and Mavericks. Then it's the LA Clippers and Memphis, and the final day of the NBA regular season. We are 6 days away from the playoffs. And don't forget, up next here on ABC, big one in Miami as the Heat host the Celtics. You know, Hubie, you look at the Chicago team, they got the best record in the East. A lot of people say, I don't know if they can win in the playoffs because lack of postseason experience. What do you think?
Yeah, look, their defense is going to be tough. They're going to have home court advantage in every Eastern series. So that is in their favor. The big thing is can you beat them one game in Chicago where they have an outstanding home court record? When you say that you are 35-5 at home, that building will be rocking. 22,000 loyal fans. They've been there forever.
Swatted away Bass. Shot clock at 3. Watson has to get it off, and he's short. Orlando ball down 2, 9 to play here in the fourth.
Now, Stan Van Gundy's getting what he wanted. He wanted them to hold him to one shot and good defense.
Duhan got to get rid of the ball. Here's Richardson. Oh, what a steal, Duhan.
Right there, Ronnie Brewer fell asleep. He never looked. He just took a dribble and just made like a blind pass. Sure, there were 2 red shirts there, but Duhan was in between.
There's Watson into Allen. Offensive foul called on C.J. Watson.
I like that right there. Excellent trap. Good rotation by Orlando. Now watch Ronnie Brewer fall asleep. You see, that was careless. That was just a careless pass.
ESPN's NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC. Brought to you by the 2011 Sierra from GMC. The best Sierra ever.
...2004 NBA MVP Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics playing the Heat in Miami next. Our MVP, the 2011 Hubie Award winner, goes to either Dwight Howard, LeBron James, or Derrick Rose. It's Chicago Bulls guard Rose, and we spoke with him about it yesterday.
Thank you, man. Trust me. This means a lot. Get this to my mom. I know she'll love it. Thank you.
Type of season, the 25 points, the 8 assists, the 86% shooting from 6 minutes down. He's one of the most dangerous guys in the league because he can carry your team, because you're going to get a good shot attempt. When you double team, he'll find the free people. If you foul him, he goes to the line and he makes the foul shots.
If he wins, as Bass takes it to the bucket and missed the dunk, he would be the youngest NBA MVP at age 22. Wes Unseld is currently the youngest at 23 years of age, 9 days. There were 5 players who won it at age 23, including Kareem and Wilt Chamberlain. Rose would be the youngest at age 22. Shot clock at 5,
nice
stripped by Arenas. Here's
nice strip.
Turkoglu in the open floor, looking for help, and it's Arenas. Short from 3, rebound by Brewer.
Now, the people who are groaning naturally would like to have had a better shot attempt, okay? You say, well, it's only better because, he missed the shot. No, because you had plenty of time on the clock.
Derrick Rose with 31 points. That is the 23rd time this year he's gone for 30.
Now, and this is what we mean by carrying a team. And we're not even into the last 6 minutes of the game. But this is what this young guy could do, and he does it very quietly.
Bulls are 7 of 12 from 3, 61% overall from the field, yet only a 3-point lead. Turkoglu misfires, and the ball went out of bounds off Chicago.
Well, Dave, we've been saying this all along. The reason why Orlando's in the game, they've made 10 threes in this game and the 11 points on second chance points. This guy has just been great. That's his second three going to his left, coming off of the screen. It's a clear out. 1-on-1.
Again, no Dwight Howard today, so who will step up in the fourth for the Magic? Turkoglu not there.
As soon as Korver comes in the game, Orlando has posted him in the first half and now just posted him again.
Turkoglu just 2 of 13 shooting. Rose again, in and out, halfway down, around and out. It's just his third miss from the field today. He's 11 of 14 shooting. Duhon is free and nails a three to tie it at 87.
Now that was just patience, because Chicago could have blocked 2 shot attempts there, and Orlando continued to make the extra pass. A lot of pressure on that shot for Duhon.
7 points for him, all in the fourth quarter. He's averaging 2 points per game on the year, a career low. Shot clock at 7. Rose double team. Shot clock at 3.
Yeah, they ran out of time here.
Gibson. Oh, ahead of 2.
Oh, hey.
You didn't see that one coming.
No, I tell you, that was great. Because as he caught the ball, there was 3 seconds on the clock, and his back was to the basket as he came out to the three-point line.
8 points and 10 rebounds for Taj Gibson. Here's Bass on a Sheik.
Now you're going to take him.
And a blocking foul called on a Sheik. His first.
That was a smart move by Bass. Take Ashik off the dribble. Now just keep an eye on the clock. Now just watch as Gibson goes up in the air. He got it off in time.
Miami, American Airlines Arena, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics battling for the 2 seed in the East. The highlight from the arena here in Orlando is what took place before the game. Kelly and Scott Jordan, a marriage ceremony in front of about 10 people here at Amway Center. And we even gave him a Hubie.
Right now, this has just been an exciting game. People wonder whether Chicago would go all out. They're all out in this game, rotating their key 10 guys. And at the other end, Orlando has done a terrific job, and they're showing Stan Van Gundy new schemes today defensively that they've worked on, and in their heart and soul offensively. They've made 11 threes in this game.
Chicago by 2. Derrick Rose, 31 points to lead all scorers. Dwight Howard not playing because of NBA suspension for his 18th technical. Dang shot not there. Bass with the rebound.
Yeah, excellent defense. Not only that, they forced Rose to give the ball up with a trap to make that corner pass.
Anderson, and wait, the delayed whistle. One of the officials didn't signal Mike Callahan, then Tony Brown steps in, and a foul is called. Let's see if it was a 2 or a 3-point attempt by Anderson. A 2-point attempt, yep.
It's a 2, but an excellent ball fake. And you must run at Ryan Anderson. In this game today, he's made 4 threes, but he's 9 for 16. He has 7 rebounds and 24 points. That was just a good move. Now he's shooting the ball. The big question, it's definitely a 2.
So Anderson, who has a team-high 24 points, will shoot 2. Look at his numbers today compared to his season averages. Of course, his minutes going up today because he started.
Yeah, but I like what he has done since they made the trade early in the year. He took his scoring up 8 points. He has shot a high percentage. He's a terrific 3-point shooter. But where he is underrated is on the boards. He's a very good rebounder when he gets his time. Now this you're going to see. He's going to go up here right here. He's definitely shooting 2. The foot is over the line. There's no question. I like Ryan Anderson because he is a good offensive rebounder. He has 4 today. Brandon Bass has 4. And then Jameer Nelson has 3 offensive rebounds in this game.
Who would have thought when those deals were made with New Jersey and Vince Carter came to Orlando that Ryan Anderson would maybe be the more important piece to this Magic team. Carter has been since traded to Phoenix, and Anderson has become integral to this Orlando team.
Well, a young player, Dave, that's maturing.
Career high, 24 points. This Wednesday, catch the series premiere of ABC's Happy Endings. When life throws you a curve, hold on tight to the people you love. A special premiere of ABC's Happy Endings, Wednesday at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, after Modern Family. And don't forget, next on ABC, it's Boston, Miami. Game 2 of our NBA Sunday Showcase doubleheader, the final Sunday of the regular season. Tied at 89 is Anderson now with a personal best 26 points. You talked about his rebounding. He has 7 boards today. Rose got it blocked by Bass. Got it back. And 33 for MVP Derrick Rose.
How about the angle? Come on now. He was a shade behind the rim. The fact that he could get the rebound back, excellent. But then the audacity to take that shot.
Richardson off the heel. Long rebound to Rose. 4-minute mark. Chicago still battling with San Antonio for the top seed overall in the NBA playoffs. Leading by 2 as Rose takes it down the lane. Finds Boozer is called for an offensive foul.
Yeah, good call. Solid call. See, once again, anytime that Rose comes off, and then you're going to defend. Perfect pass. This is just a bad turnover by Boozer. If you don't have it and there's plenty of time on the shot clock, make the pass and repost yourself.
17th turnover by Chicago, 4 here in the 4th quarter.
2-man game here.
Nelson will take it and bank it in to tie it at 91.
No, you can't do that. You either have got to go under or you've got to show. Come on now, the guy playing the screener did not get up and show, which allowed Jameer Nelson to turn the corner and get a good look.
6th tie of the final frame here in Orlando. Boozer from Rose lost it. Another turnover, 18th by the Bulls. Richardson to Bass, fouled by Korver.
Now that's a block. I mean, come on. He went for the block that time. He got a piece of the ball, but he also catches it. Just watch this. He's going for the block right here for the foul. Sure, right on the wrist. That's not a flagrant foul. It's a good hard foul. Send him to the line. Now, Richardson is an excellent shooter. And what you do? Pressure of the game. 3:15 on the clock. Make him make the 2 foul shots.
Bass at the line, 82% free throw shooter. First foul shot of the game, as that's the 4th team foul on the Bulls. Like Anderson, they're going to count a lot on Bass in the playoffs. 26-year-old, averaging 11 points, 5 rebounds per game this year for the Magic. With his 3rd team, started out in New Orleans, 2 years in Dallas. 2nd year with the Magic. Missed the 2nd free throw. Chicago ball now trailing by 1.
That's why you go for the foul and you go for the wrist to the elbow. You don't hurt the guy. You force him to take the pressure of making 2.
Derrick Rose with 33 points gives it up to Boozer. Has just 8 points today. Shot clock at 2. They turn it over again. Richardson got it to go. What a shot by Jason Richardson.
Now they want a timeout. Chicago's calling a timeout. The people in the building want a foul because of the legs getting caught on the drive. He's definitely having contact below the knee. Now just watch here. You're going to see it right there. All right, there's your contact. That's what the Orlando fan is looking for. He wants the 3-point play.
Rubber game of a 3-game series on Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Red Sox won Friday, Yankees yesterday. Beckett versus Sabathia tonight. Yankees, Red Sox. Next on ABC, Heat, Celtics from Miami. Boston has won all 3 previous meetings with Miami. They're currently tied for the number 2 spot in the East. The Bulls are the 1 seed. They're going to play Indiana in the first round of the playoffs. They were 3-1 against the Pacers during the regular season.
Major thing in this game so far is Orlando's ability to only have 10 turnovers. They have forced Chicago into 19 turnovers.
Blocking foul called again on Anderson, and Rose is hurt for the third time. Third time Rose has gone down in this contest.
This is a very strong move. It's on the opposite side of the court from us. You could see that there is a major collision. The Orlando defense converges here. Now just watch it right here, and you're looking, you're saying, hey, I'm an Orlando guy, I want to charge in that situation. If I'm Chicago, the guy is moving. He's moving underneath. That is a very difficult call for any referee to make. Now, fortunately, Rose gets up, and then also the guy who took it got up.
Rose has made his last 25 free throws. Make it 26. 34 points for Derrick Rose.
The double teaming by Orlando in the second half on Rose and on Boozer, especially on Boozer, has been to their benefit. In this last 6 minutes, Boozer's come up with a couple of turnovers. They're doing a good job. Now, previous to that, Boozer had 6 assists. So you can't say, hey, well, he's had a bad game. He's been passing the ball. He's got to get rid of the ball earlier.
If you're out there watching, wondering why Chicago playing its normal players, there's still a lot to play for, as they could still get the #1 overall record in the league. As Rose is fouled by Nelson, goes down again.
Yeah, but see, that's a smart move. He tried to get the charge. First of all, you had a great strip by Gibson at the other end. That freed up the ball. Then Nelson, he was hustling back. You can't let Rose get airbound. Just watch this. See, he's going to try to make a play. Get the contact out here. Force him to make the foul shots, because he knows if he gets by him, it's all over. He's going to get the 2-point play.
Third team foul in Orlando, so a side out. Rose will stay on the floor.
Smart play by Nelson all the way.
Bulls with 2 games left after tonight before the playoffs. They have the top record in the East locked up. 1 game back of San Antonio in the loss column as they turn it over again in the half court.
Yeah, they defense Korver.
That's 7 turnovers in the quarter, but Richardson just throws it away. Now Rose on the other end throws it down.
Now that's a break. That's an incredible break. Mainly because you never leave your feet unless you're going to shoot the ball.
37 for Derrick Rose, just 4 missed shots. He's got 9 points in the quarter. Nelson, the tip won't go. Anderson got fouled. What a game he's had.
Give Anderson credit. He's been a horse in there today. Just give them, watch right here now. You're going to see I leave my feet, I throw it out. Rose is going to finish and finish strong, both hands. He's going to discourage any type of a shot block. Now at this end, Ryan Anderson has been a horse. That's his 5th offensive rebound in this game.
27 points, starting at center with Dwight Howard serving that 1-game suspension. And 1 more free throw coming. 8 rebounds as well, and now 28 points. Orlando by 1 inside 2 minutes to go.
This has been encouraging for Orlando's coaching staff and the team as a whole. Now remember, Noah has not been in the game here in the last 8 minutes.
Had been battling an ankle injury and did not play late in their game the other night as Boozer collides with Bass. Bass called for the foul. That's the 4th team foul. We'll see if they say that Boozer was shooting or not. Only the first on Bass, and they're saying a shooting foul.
That's just a good pass. The catch and a step.
Only 8 points for Boozer in the game. He does have 6 rebounds and 6 assists, though. Game 1 of a doubleheader on ABC. LeBron James and the Miami Heat coming up next, taking on the Boston Celtics. Both teams 55 and 24. Chicago going for its 60th win of the season. And Boozer gives the Bulls a 1-point lead with 1:26 left.
Now the #1 challenge for Chicago is the defensive rebounding. You have got to pay attention now because Bass as well as Anderson have 9 offensive rebounds between them.
Nelson's 3 not there, and Korver's got it for Chicago. And maybe took steps. There was contact as well, no whistle. 1 minute remaining. Bulls with the ball, leading by 1. They get it to Derrick Rose.
Yeah, get the ball in his hands. Like we've been saying all game long, he's an 86% foul shooter.
He's got 37 points. Rose to the basket, stripped, out of bounds, off of Chicago.
Oh, Tom Thibodeau is really upset here right now. Mainly because he honestly felt that that ball was hit, deflected out of bounds. From our angle, I thought it was deflected.
Now remember, they can go look at the monitor
Just
to
keep
see.
an eye right there. Well, it's definitely off of Turkoglu.
And they're going to go look, QB, and check it out. Remember, you can reverse the call here in the final 2 minutes, see who touched it last.
Well, that's why Tom Thibodeau was up there challenging the referees to tell them to look at this. Now you're going to see it right here. As it goes up, Turkoglu gets it right there. He gets a piece of it and sends a deflection out of bounds.
A lot of contact as well. It looks pretty clear from that shot that it is Turkoglu who touched it last. Bulls have a 1-point lead, 49.7 seconds remaining. The ruling on the court was out of bounds off of Chicago.
And now you got to get the clock back because they have the clock at 24 seconds.
All right, what was the shot clock at?
That's
Obviously,
correct. As the ball goes out of bounds,
yep.
right. Okay, this has been a very entertaining game. I'm happy for Chicago that they've come out here today and really played hard. They've weathered incredible three-point shooting by Orlando. At the other end, I'm happy for Orlando because these guys have really played extremely well for them today. And there's the play again.
Yeah, again, no Dwight Howard serving that one-game suspension because of the 18th technical. Officials are still looking at it. Now they've taken the headsets off. They'll make a ruling here. Again, it looks like it's last touch by Turkoglu.
See, right there are two Chicago guys. There are two guys from Chicago who swing at it, but depending upon the angle, they look like they missed it.
Did Rose's left hand get it last after Turkoglu touched it? As we slowed it down for you there, it was close, and that's why the officials are still looking at it. They put the headsets back on just to take another peek to make sure. Also, again, looking at the clock, as you pointed out, Hubie, to see how much time's on the shot clock here. I think about 2 when it goes out of bounds. Yep. Should be 2 on the shot clock if it is Chicago ball.
Now, in that situation, since we ran it back so many times, Orlando gets away with a foul because Turkoglu definitely fouls Rose on the move. There's no doubt about that.
So it's going to be Chicago ball. Last touch by Turkoglu.
No, they're giving it.
They're giving it to Orlando. You're right. They're giving it to Orlando, saying that Rose touched it last. So they spent a lot of time on it. But what a terrific game it's been. Chicago leading Orlando by 1.
Well, I like the fact that both teams have played extremely hard. We've seen great defense by Orlando in this quarter. All right, so that's a major plus for their ball club. They've been able to score the ball. Now you're sitting right now, you're down 1. The main thing is you got to get a high percentage shot.
Again, no Dwight Howard to go to down the stretch. We'll see who gets the look. Richardson has been great today, as has Anderson. Almost a turnover there. Bass stripped. Loose ball, out of bounds. And it's going to be Orlando ball with 7 to shoot. They might look at this one as well because there are 3 different officials made different calls.
Well, what happened is Mike Callahan was foul line extended. All right, the referee on the baseline, Phillips, did not get a look, so he looked for the call.
It's the left leg there of an Orlando player, it looked like. But hey, we thought the last one was off of Turkoglu, and they gave it to Orlando. The ruling was Orlando ball, that it was last touched by Chicago, but they're going to look here. If it is Magic ball, they've got 7 to shoot. They'll also look at the shot clock, make sure that that's correct if it is Orlando ball. But watch the left leg here of Bass. After the strip by Brewer, Anderson goes for it. It hits the left shin of Bass. Does not look like it hits a Bull there. either off of Bass or Anderson, who are on the same team, it should be Chicago ball.
I would think so. Okay.
But hey, last one, didn't you think it was off Turkoglu?
On the last one, come on. First of all, Turkoglu hit Rose. He definitely should have been shooting. Main thing right here is that they get this correct. Because, all right, Orlando had an opportunity down here. There's still 7 seconds on the shot clock, but it should be Chicago ball.
And it is Chicago ball. So they went to the monitor and they give it to the Bulls. 1 timeout left for Chicago. 3 remaining for Orlando. Both teams in the penalty. Bulls have the ball and a 1-point lead. About an 8-second difference between game and shot clocks.
Main thing right now for Orlando, no fouls. I try to play as tough defense as possible. You must hold Chicago to 1 shot. You're going to have plenty of time on the shot clock if you can get the rebound, call a timeout, and then move the basketball.
Derrick Rose, 37 points to lead all scores. You would imagine it'll be in his hands the whole way. Nelson defending. Here comes a screen by Dang. Rose with 12 to shoot. Rose with 8 to the basket. What a pass! Gibson foul. Gibson will shoot 2 after the great look by Rose.
Now that was beautiful coming out of the timeout. They used Deng and Turkoglu in a screen. They were looking for a switch or a trap. They didn't get it. They get this. As he blows, you've got to come back. And then once again, he's up so high in the air, his ability to make the correct play right there. Now, come on, you've got to send these down. Pressure on Boozer to make the foul shot.
Gibson at the line, and on the season he's a 67% free throw shooter. He'll have 1 more. It did look like Richardson got the left arm of Gibson on the way up.
Now in this situation right now, you have Orlando with a number of timeouts, so that's not a problem.
He missed the second one, rebound by Dang, and then he rolls it to Brewer. Orlando has to foul, and they do with 9.9 left. And Derrick Rose can perhaps ice it at the line.
It always sounds so easy. Can you get the defensive rebound when it counts? You could see the block out, but then what happened? The ball took a crazy angle, and Anderson lost it as the man reversed him and got the free ball.
Rose gets the first over his last 4 games. He's made 28 in a row at the line. He is 9 of 9 today. The next one would make it a 2-possession game and give the likely MVP 39 points. Four-point Chicago lead. Timeout Magic.
Good pressure shooting, excellent pressure getting the rebound. This is a situation now where you cannot shoot, and you take the 3. All right, it's a situation where there's not enough time to go for the quick 2, etc. The big thing is now if you shoot the 3 and you are Chicago, please do not foul the 3-point shooter. And we say, oh, it never happens. Well, Jamal Crawford has done it 34 times where he's made a 4-point play. So we know it is possible. So big thing is play, send them behind, okay? Guard the 3-point line. The main thing is do not foul a guy taking a 3.
They already did it once in this game. They fouled Nelson, and they almost fouled Anderson shooting a 3 earlier, although it was a 2, as Paul Pierce and the Celtics are coming up next here on ABC, taking on the Miami Heat. Terrific doubleheader here on ABC. Remember, Orlando led this game by 3 with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left, but a 9-2 Chicago run. And you heard Doc Rivers earlier, the Boston Celtics coach, talk about how great Derrick Rose and the Bulls have been in comeback situations in the 4th quarter, and it's happened again. Rose leading them back from that deficit with 3 to play to take a 4-point lead. 39 points for Derrick Rose. What a terrific young performer. Been spectacular shooting it as well as taking it to the basket.
He's given us every point shooting under pressure going to his left. Now you can see right there the previous 10 games and then today. the field goal because they know this is a big game. They need this game to stay in the hunt of San Antonio. The three-point shooting under pressure, the assist, but the foul shooting that he's made today, beautiful to watch, accepting, leading his team. Watch the guy out of bounds. Turkoglu is a major three-point shooter.
Richardson got tangled up, so Nelson takes the shot off the mark. Orlando keeps. Here's Richardson. Hit the three. Time left. 2.7 on the clock.
Now, if you cannot make a clean pass, all right, okay, you're not going to do that. You're going to call timeout. That was smart.
Final timeout for the Bulls. Chicago ball. They got to get it inbounds. Orlando within one, under 3 seconds left. Back in a moment with the finish. Catch the 2011 WNBA Draft presented by Adidas tomorrow, 3 Eastern on ESPN. Dwayne Wade up next on ABC as the Miami Heat host the Boston Celtics, currently tied for the second spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Celtics own the tiebreaker. Meanwhile, Derrick Rose with 39 points. Jason Richardson just hit a 3. Orlando within 1 as Chicago ball.
Now you can see they have Deng in the backcourt. The reason this year you can pass the ball into the backcourt. Main thing right now for Chicago, you have no timeouts. You've got to get the ball inbound.
Watson will inbound. Imagine he'll try to get it to Rose, who's 10 for 10 at the line today. They're setting a screen, try to get it to Korver. And they do inbound it, and the foul by Anderson comes to Boozer with 2 seconds left.
Right, now, come on. Now you still have 2 seconds left here in this game, and you still have 2 20-second timeouts remaining. So the pressure is on Boozer to make 2, because if you get Boozer to miss and they get the rebound, you call timeout. All right, you take the ball, you can move it. This is big here now. A lot of pressure on Boozer.
You see Orlando, they'll play Atlanta in the first round of the playoffs as Boozer hits the first. One more coming with Chicago leading by 2. Magic will play the Hawks in round 1 starting next weekend. Chicago will play Indiana in the first round. These two teams could meet in the Eastern Conference semifinals. One more free throw for Boozer. Still a 1-possession game. Orlando will call a timeout and have 2 seconds left to set up a 3.
That's why we say an NBA game is never over. Okay.
Stay down. And made threes per game. They've hit 12 out of 24 today. Jason Richardson just hit one a little bit earlier to get Orlando within a point. He's hit 4 threes. Anderson has hit 4 today. 2 seconds left, so enough time to get off a shot.
Absolutely. And the big thing right now is you've got to switch on any down screen, switch on any ball cross. I mean, any time that a player crosses here. You cannot allow a guy to make a catch behind the three-point line.
As you pointed out earlier, if you're Chicago, do not foul the three-point shooter. Here's Nelson with 1. Nelson over Rose for the tie. It's good! It's good! We're going to overtime. He hit one from half court to end the second quarter. Now he hits one here at the end of the fourth quarter. They just waved it off, though. They just ruled it no good. They're going to go to the monitor to make sure, but the ruling on the court is that it's no good, that it left his hand after the clock went to 0.
Now this is just a great move by Jameer Nelson. He makes the catch and he reverses and he takes the dribble. And you're going to see there's the ball fake. The ball fake, as he leaves his hand, you can see it's at 0-0-0. Now they got to back it up. They got to back it up to make sure.
I think they got it right. I think it's late.
Yep.
And initially the officials all looked at each other. They waited because everybody thought it was good. And then a few seconds afterwards, they said, no, it's no good. They're going to take some time to make sure, but it's still in his hand there.
In his hand.
They got it right.
Now that was a terrific defensive play by Derrick Rose because he was right on top of Jameer. Good ball fake. He pressured the shot without body contact. And then give Jameer a ton of credit. He makes the shot.
But Chicago wins, victory number 60 for the Bulls. And here's Lisa Salters with Derrick Rose.
Thanks, Dave. Derrick, you were already walking off the court. You knew it wasn't good. How did you know?
It was only 2 seconds left.
I catch you in the second left.
2 seconds left. I knew that he couldn't dribble that many times and shoot it. So you know basketball. I've been playing my whole life.
39 points for you. How did you make sure just that your team was not going to lose this game?
Just my will. My heart won't let me stop. I just kept playing, even though it was an up and down game. We definitely don't want to be in a game like this, but we kept fighting and got this win.
All right, thank you and congratulations. Dave.
39 for Derrick Rose. Here's Jameer Nelson from half court to end the first half. That pulled the Magic within one, and here he is at the end of the game. Again, the officials took their time. They waited, and then they made the ruling that it's no good. They went to the monitor to confirm, and it definitely was still in his hand when the clock was at 0, and Chicago wins it 102-99. For Hubie Brown, Lisa Salters, our entire crew, I'm Dave Pasch. Don't forget, up next, Game 2 of our NBA Sunday Showcase, an excellent game between Boston and Miami. Thanks for watching ABC, home of the NBA Finals. So long from Orlando.